And welcome to Christian Networking Entrepreneurs, also known as CNE. I am your host, Pastor Shalonda Johnson. We are so excited to be with you today. But before we go any further, we're going to ask you to please like and share this broadcast. Like and share the broadcast. Let me explain a little bit about CNE. It is a platform that was created by Prophetess Teresa McCurry, where emerging entrepreneurs, small business owners, as well as community leaders have the ability to tell their testimonies and give us some nuggets on how they grew their business. On today, we have a special guest. But before we introduce our guest, let me tell you how you can be part of CNE. CNE, if you would like to be part of our show as we're doing today or part of one of our live networking events, you can call this number at 216-916-9270. Extension number 4, let them know that you are interested in being a part of the Christian Network Entrepreneurs or either being on our show. Today, our guest is Cheryl Smith with Grassroots. So how are you today?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I am doing great. So we're so excited to have you on. We chatted a little bit on yesterday. And as you guys know, I have the gift of gab. So I was so excited about today. So before we get any further, we do this part called Earn the Right. Tell us a little bit about your backstory. How did you get where you are?
Oh my goodness. That's a loaded question. Well, honestly, I do have to say that I am a founder, executive director. Started this business about 20 years ago. Originally started in Columbus, Ohio. The thought process behind the business a little bit different with the entrepreneur. I did not grow up saying, "Oh, I just want to start my own business when I grow up. That's just what I want to do." No, that's not what happened. Honestly, I was seeking my purpose when I came to Christ at about 25, 26 years old. I was seeking my purpose and trying to figure out, okay, well, Lord, what is it you want me to do?
Yeah.
And one of the things that I have always believed is that when it comes to work, if you're going to spend at least 65% of your time doing something, you better love what you do.
Come on.
And so I always went to the Lord about that and waited for an answer, and entrepreneurship became the answer. I have always had a heart for service, a heart for serving people, helping people. Been doing that ever since I was 14 years old. Candy striper, all kinds of stuff. Just volunteering and helping people to do what it is they need to have done or do what it is that they need in their lives, helping them out. And that's always been a heart of mine. And so when we started Collaboration Station, it was all about what is the niche that we can do to help people. And one of the things that really stood out for me was people who wanted to help other people. Okay. And so our business started by helping others build the capacity to help others. And the best way to do that legitimately is to start your own business. So that's how Collaboration Station and my backstory came to be. And so other than that, we have added, subtracted, then added some more. And now we're on the straight path, and it's always been what God has wanted me to do.
Okay, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So tell us about a few of your challenges, because as you know, being a business owner, it sounds wonderful in theory. But there are some obvious challenges and some of your victories as well.
Absolutely. Well, to start with the challenges, one of the things I want to definitely encourage people to do is you want to make sure that you are not thinking that because you've got a wonderful vision and a passion and because what it is you want to do in terms of your business is something that is needed. Do not assume that people are going to just jump up and give you money for it. It is not going down like that.
So just because I think my business is awesome. Okay.
Doesn't mean anybody is coming to support it with some money. That's just not realistic. And so it's very important when you start your business to be realistic. One of the first challenges you're going to have is, how am I going to pay for it? Another challenge you're going to have that is related to money, but not actually getting the money in your hand, is how do I explain to somebody what my budget is and what I need them to pay for. Very important, because when you get an audience who actually wants to pay for something that you need for your business, whether it's through a grant, whether it's through a loan, whether it's through an investor, anything, eventually you're going to have to explain, what is this budget and where did it come from? And that often is the challenge with entrepreneurs when our focus is the passion. Our focus is, what it is I'm trying to do, what it is I'm trying to sell, what it is I'm trying to help people with in this community service. So getting the money and putting it on paper has always been a challenge. So having to come through that. Also trying to come through the challenge of getting people to support what you do. And now I'm not talking about money.
Okay.
Having people to believe in what you want to do, so much so that they help you with it in other ways. It could be volunteering. It could be dedicating their time to help build this aspect of your business, even working for your business, and having the patience to know, well, I'm definitely going to pay you, but that check I was waiting on didn't come yet. And so I don't want you to just quit on me because you didn't get your first check. No, I am going to pay you. Yes. I'm waiting on this check so that I can pay you. So people who can actually believe in and support your vision, regardless to the up or the down of the business, that has always been a challenge as well. And then last challenge, which is still my challenge right now, balance. Trying to balance entrepreneurship and what you're doing in your business, whether it's a for-profit or nonprofit, with your life, because your business cannot be your life. It has to be a balance between what I'm doing to help people, what I'm doing to work with people, and family, and cooking, and taking a vacation, and anything else that helps with you building you up. So that should include quiet time with God. That should include going to church, doing church ministry. We don't put that down to do this. Yeah. It's getting that balance, because without the balance, you got to remember that you are the business. You started it.
Yes.
So if you go down, guess what the business does?
So I am over here like tickled, just so tickled, because it was a conversation my husband and I just had recently, that everything can't be the business. And then what I have found that a lot of times if you have a business and it's something you enjoy doing, it's kind of difficult sometimes to pull away from it, because you really, really enjoy it. Absolutely. You really, really like it. But I love that you talked about the challenges of balancing life. Regardless of how much you love it, you still have to attend to, life priorities as well. Another thing you talked about is the support aspect. Oh my goodness. For me, I would say for me, one of the biggest things is support. I'm not going to say as equally needed as money, but it's very high up there.
Very high up there. That's right.
So to find people that believe in what you're doing, although it might not be making that lump sum of money right away, it's projected to do it, but as of right now,
right.
And then having people, you also talked about not necessarily money, but supporting in so many other different aspects. If you could have someone support you to help you out with the books or to help you with the service or whatnot, that is an extremely big load off for an entrepreneur as you're trying to go. I think I read a post about something. It was talking about why hasn't your business grown, and it said, well, because you didn't share it. You didn't, you didn't help me get out there. So that is definitely a big challenge as well. So tell us about some of the victories that you've had in your 20 years before we go any further, because you have to be in existence for 20 years. Of course, there's been some challenges, but there has to have been some victories.
Absolutely. I would say probably in the exact same order. The first victory, which really, because Collaboration Station is a 501c3 nonprofit, being able to get the money to sustain your programs is not necessarily the easiest thing. So the first victory was finally being able to get grant funders to say, hey, wait a minute, we need to take notice of what you're doing and give you some money to keep doing it, which just occurred, ironically enough, as a result of the pandemic. So it's been that long, y'all. And so you really do have to have that drive. You really have to have that persistence. You really have to have that diligence. And you really have to have that passion, because without the passion, you won't drive it. Without the passion, you won't be persistent in it. Because the rewards truly, as the Bible talks about, are on the backside after you have suffered a little while. He will restore, he will build, he will give, because he promised that he will do that. So definitely being able to be recognized by grant funders now and being able to get grants of larger amounts. Sometimes I think our latest grant was $48,000. So being able to get grants in that amount where nobody was looking at us for 17 years.
Yeah.
Yay, amen. Praise ye the Lord. Okay. So that's definitely one victory. Another victory that we have absolutely had is in harnessing the power. There's that support thing, y'all. Harnessing the power of volunteers. Being able to get support from people now who believe in the various aspects or things of the programs that we do. And now we have a couple of people who very readily are helping us market. Mm-hmm. You know, they're helping us get the word out. They're developing our marketing material. Huge victory, because, you know, we all have strengths and weaknesses, and marketing is not my strength. Not at all. So to have volunteers, because, you know, marketing can cost some big money, and having volunteers who are like, oh yeah, I'll design that brand. I'll put your marketing strategy together. Yeah, I'll go ahead and make sure that Facebook and Twitter and all of them have this on here. Having to have that support that you don't have to pay for, because people believe in what you do. Big victory. It's always a big victory to have that confirmation that, wait a minute, I'm not just out here seeing it and doing it because it's needed. Other people see that it's needed too. And that can go for both for-profit and nonprofit businesses. And then, of course, the third victory is now I'm starting to get a little bit of balance. Because I promise I was working like, well, I got to say, I'm a night owl. And so I probably starting out and continually was working 14, 16, 18-hour days. One of the things that my staff often says is, you don't sleep, Miss Cheryl. No, you don't. You don't sleep. You send texts and emails at 1 a.m. You don't sleep. And what they don't know is that it's taken a while, but now I do. What they don't know is when I go to sleep. Okay. And now I've been able to actually step back a little bit just in the last year and start doing things. As a single person, it's very easy to get caught up in what you're doing when that is your purpose or that is your focus. So still as a single person, I'm trying to carve out, okay, well, wait a minute. We need to make sure we take care of our health.
Yes.
Okay, and then we're going to do business. Now I'm seeing myself doing that. Okay, well, now we need to actually get away from this because our mind is bogged down with business. Okay, so now we need to make sure that we're taking more time in our quiet time with God. We need to make sure that we are taking more time in our word time and understanding God. So we make sure we get that in. And now I'm actually getting out the house. Hallelujah to the Lamb. Because I was spending a lot of time in the house, in church, in work. I'm now able to go out, go see a show, go to a movie as a single person, making sure that I do that, because now all of that brings that balance.
Absolutely.
That you're looking for. So those would be some of the victories.
Absolutely. You just, it's just so many nuggets. I love that, again, I love that it is a Christian networking entrepreneur, but I love that you incorporate the things of God also in the business as well, because I am a true believer that we don't have to forfeit one to have the other. That I can be a believer and I could be in the body of Christ, but I can be successful and I can, as a pastor, Chelsea Purnell, she said this a couple of weeks ago on the show, I can be in the body of Christ and I can have a bag too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I told her, I was like, you really need to coin that. But two, enjoying life as well. Saying, okay, God, you've given me this gift. I'm serving other people, and then you allowing me to take care of myself, but being able to have it all and operate in it all. And then you're seeing the success. You talked about grants and being a nonprofit. I don't know if people out there in our viewing audience know, it is not easy. We hear that word grant thrown around all the time as though it is just as easy as going up to an ATM. And it is not that easy. There are so many strategies and there's so much back paperwork that needs to be done for someone to, let alone give you money, just look at you.
Right. Exactly.
And you guys have gotten to that place, that platform where now you're getting money. See, I'm really believing. You said 48,000. I'm just believing next year you're gonna get to six figures when they're just giving out six figures because
I receive it.
Yes, because what you're doing is so needed, so needed. So let's talk about a little bit about the entrepreneurship program that you guys have right now that is just blessing people, because I thought about this for whatever reason. It seemed like this year was the year of entrepreneurs.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely one of the, and I know that the pandemic has been rough and it has hurt and been hard on a lot of people. We've lost a lot of lives, and still doing so. But one of the things that God definitely has is that balance. And so one of the things that has come out of this that has not been a negative but a positive is the opportunity that you're talking about. The opportunities that have opened up for people, especially the small business entrepreneur, that you've never had before. Never had before. So God know how to do it, y'all. God know what he's doing. He does. He does. And sometimes it seems like, especially with all the negative, that, this doesn't make any sense, Lord. But, that's what the word says. Your thoughts are higher than our thoughts and your ways are higher than our ways. So maybe we should just trust you.
Just go. Okay. Just go ahead and go with the trust thing.
Just let it
and
go.
Like you said, it's never happened before. I was talking to one of my girls and they were asking me about the pandemic. Well, what happened? And they were saying, well, when you was a kid, when this happened, what did y'all do? I said, no, this has never happened before.
Never happened.
So, like you said, it opened up opportunity for the smaller businesses.
It really, really did. So some of the opportunities that are open to small business entrepreneurs, and we're going to define small in a minute.
Yes.
But small business entrepreneurs, now there are opportunities for contracts. So what you want to do if you're a small business entrepreneur in a for-profit or a nonprofit business, I'm telling you, the principles are the same for my nonprofit people. The principles are the same. The work is different because your focus is on mission more so than money, but the principles are the same. If you don't have the money, you don't eat. Whether it's a nonprofit or for-profit, you don't have the money, you can't eat. You can't serve without the finances. Yes. And so with that, one of the things that has opened up is contracts. Thinking outside the box is very important to, as a Christian, go to the Lord and sit down and listen. And while we're going to the Lord saying, Lord, how am I going to pay my rent? Lord, how am I going to get my child in school? Lord, can you please give me this new car? Can we also go and say, Lord, you've given me this idea for a business. I need the strategy for how to get it done. So Jesus, I know you already know that I need money. That's not unknown to you. Okay. Yeah. All right. Talks about that Matthew very well. You know what I need. So Lord, what is the strategy for getting contracts from? It could be a larger business. It could be from the government. What is it, Lord? Because I know if you give me the strategy, I will get the access to the opportunity that I couldn't get without you. And so that is one of the things that's very, very important for a Christian entrepreneur, to ask God for the strategy on how to move in your business. Another opportunity outside of contracts, because that varies based on the type of business that you have, is also finance. And so some people, I want y'all to know, now is not the time to be afraid of loans. Now is the time.
The rates are,
oh my goodness.
Yes.
You know, Pastor,
yes.
you know.
Yes.
So now is the time to take a chance on the loan. Before I understand, that's too much. I'm not making enough money. What am I going to do? No, Jesus, I can't,
How we going to even pay this back?
Why am I going to do this? Now is the time to go to the Lord for the strategy on, okay, well, Lord, there's this PPE money out here. This is economic development money out here. The stimulus money is just about gone. But then there are other monies coming through from the county, from being a minority business entrepreneur. If you're for profit and you have not become certified in that, my suggestion would be that you become certified in that real quick.
I am certified, yes.
All right. Yes. So having those opportunities, which one of these doors are you opening for me? Yeah. And to be able to, now you have to do some due diligence with these opportunities, because the fact that you're going to the Lord with the strategy suggests that you know it exists. If you have not done your research, if you have not listened to the news, if you have not gone on the internet and found out more about that blurb you just heard real quick on the radio in your car, let me get this phone out and get on the internet and say, okay, wait a minute, the buzzword was this. Let me look this up. Let me see if I can find out. If you're not going to somebody else, you have other people in your entrepreneurship network. This is CNE.
Yes.
You have other people in the network who might know a little bit more about some of the things than you do. Go ask a question. The Lord assumes that you are asking and seeking the knowledge. And so that knowledge for the entrepreneur is finding out what the opportunities are that are out there, so that when you go to him in prayer and say, okay, now, Lord, I need a strategy, you have now given him something to work with.
Okay.
You can't expect God to just hand it to you like a genie in a bottle. That's not how that works. He's expecting, just like the ant who toils all summer so that he has stored up food. In the Proverbs, we've heard that proverb before. He's expecting us as his people to understand that we need to exercise some wisdom, because wisdom is the principal thing. Walk ye therein.
Yeah.
So wisdom says, I need to go find out what's out here. Don't depend on somebody to bring it to me. No, that's not how Jesus works. Where in the Bible have we ever seen that? No, we have always had to put some, as we would say in the world, skin in the game.
Skin in the game, my favorite term.
Always had to put some skin in the game. So why would we think it would be different with the Lord? No, it's not. It's not. And in the Bible, it's all through there. It's not different. You must do something. So if you want the strategy, you first got to find out what's out there.
And that speaks of your faith.
It really does.
It speaks of your faith. Faith without works is dead. You believe it, so let me see how you're going to act on it. How you're going to act on it. Wow. And you are absolutely right. You talked about all of these funding opportunities that have never, ever exist. It is almost like the high place has been brought down.
Yeah.
But even though although it's been brought down, it is still our responsibility to do our due diligence to be able to obtain those things. And you mentioned another thing. CNE all year have been bringing on individuals such as yourself with all of this information, all of this knowledge. We're not saying that you're going to get it all in 1 hour sitting, but you said something. There are some key terms that's been thrown out all year. And for us to grab it. So, okay, we have Miss Cheryl. We have you here today. So how does your business, if I'm a new entrepreneur and I have a business and I come to you guys, how does your service benefit this young entrepreneur with this dream and this passion?
Absolutely. So one of the things that we do under Collaboration Station is called the Grassroots Business Guru Program. And in our Grassroots Business Guru Program, we work with for-profit and nonprofit entrepreneurs to build their business. So the people that we focus on, so now we're about to define small business.
Please.
The people that we focus on in terms of small business for us is people who have a vision to do a business. We start right there. A lot of times people have a vision to do it, but don't know what to do and don't know how to go about doing it. Yeah. So that's us. That's our program. That's what we do. Also, we have a second set of people who are in business. They understood how to get that hustle going, but now they're stuck. It's like, okay, but I need to grow. I want to grow. And I'm kind of stuck at figuring out how can I grow this from where it is. Yeah, come on over. That's that you are target population too. So we have a 3-part program that we do. The first part is of course, it's about getting the knowledge, y'all. So we do a training. So it's online training. It is self-paced. One of the things that the pandemic did do was push a lot of stuff online that you used to do in person.
Yeah.
So if you're not used to that, get used to that right now, honey. That ain't changing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Get familiar with the computer.
You got to do it. And as an entrepreneur, it is your responsibility. I like that. It is your responsibility to find out what you don't know.
Yeah.
You are held responsible by the IRS and everybody else by what you know and what you don't know.
IRS definitely gonna hold you responsible.
so you got to get yourself in the know. Okay, so we do training, and the online training is self-paced because it's going to go as fast as you want it. If you want it, then you push through it. If you don't want it, then I guess it's going to take you about 9 months to get it done. The training is designed to take you less than 30 days to get done.
Wow, less than 30 days.
Less than 30 days. And then what happens is our training is affiliated with Santa Clara University in California. Yeah, we all the way out there, y'all, to get, which is an accredited college. And that particular college actually gives you a certificate. So you have a certificate from an accredited university to put in your toolbox when you start telling people what is your experience and what have you learned. So that's the first thing.
So how do we before we go any further, how do we tap into that?
Oh, okay, awesome. We have a website that makes it very, very easy for you to register. And the website that you want to go to, we have two, but to make it very easy to remember, it's called fundingopportunities.org. That's it. Fundingopportunities.org. You can also call our office and our phone number. If you like that traditional communication, we love that too. It is 216-777-2136. And we can get you registered and you can be on board in 24 hours.
Also, it's not like we only start every third Tuesday or, once a month. So you say I can call this number if I am ready to close out this year with the action plan.
Yes.
That I can call after 1 o'clock, because you're going to wait till the show is over. After 1 o'clock, talk to someone and I can get my log on, all of that information, and I could be in the process of starting a passion, a dream, or something that God has called me to do in 24 hours.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's why you need the 6 figures to come in.
Absolutely. So with that, once you finish your training class, then we get to the nitty gritty. That's nitty gritty, which is the mentoring and coaching. We have 2 parts to this. There's a mentoring portion where you get to talk to actual individuals. Most of them are entrepreneurs, y'all. So they've been where you're trying to go. Okay. So they can talk to you about various different aspects of building a business: marketing, finances, credit, business plans, writing a business proposal. Talk about contracts, how do I put that contract together, all of that. So the mentors help give you an understanding on how to do that. And half of them also have their own businesses. So because you're affiliated with this program, what somebody might have charged you $500 for, you never know. They might give it to you for $200. They might give it to you for $50 because you're affiliated with this program. So that's one of the things that we do on the business mentoring side. But along with the business mentoring is the life coach mentoring. One of the things that becomes difficult for us as entrepreneurs is especially as we get deep down into the business, is balancing. So we go with that balance again.
Yes.
The business life with the home life, making sure that I can handle this personally as well as professionally. So the life coach comes in and says, hey, how you doing? Just want to check in with you, see how everything is moving forward with your business. Anything wrong? Have you stopped? Have you been stuck? What's happening? The life coach wants to know what's going on with you. Okay? So that if you find yourself in a place where, oh my goodness, there's so much, I'm about to tear my hair out. Okay, well, maybe some time management is needed. Okay, well, maybe you just needed to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe you're just feeling discouraged and you needed some help. And y'all, Pastor T is a part of this.
You know what? I was thinking to myself, I think she volunteers.
She does.
Yes,
she does.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So on the life coaching part. So we have people who have an understanding about life.
Yes.
And how trying to build a business and being a single mother, trying to build a business and having a church as well, trying to build a business and having other responsibilities. I take care of my dad. Now how am I do this? Where you can have a conversation, a real conversation, because sometimes people, they want the real.
Yes.
They want the real. Don't tell me what they wrote in the book. Tell me how we really do this. So the life coach is able to give you the real about, well, when you're trying to put this entrepreneurial piece in your life, this is how your life might shift. And these are some things you may want to do for your life to be able to fit this in and to be able to manage this while growing the business. And so we put both the life coaching and the mentoring together. And that's the second phase. And you can be in the life coaching and the mentoring as long as you need to. One thing about our program is we don't put any stipulations on when it's done. So some folks be like, okay, this is a 6-month program and after that we done. No, I still have entrepreneurs that still call us today. They in their business and they call. They've been done with the program 5 years ago and they call, Miss Cheryl. Okay, now I'm at this level because it's about levels. Okay, so I know you got me started. Who can you refer me to take me to my next level? I'm so glad you asked. You probably need to be over here. You probably need to be over there. Yeah. You probably need to do this. Well, hey, maybe you want to go talk to this person. Matter of fact, I'm going to send them an email. Let them know you calling. Okay, that kind of thing so that you can continue to be built and you can continue to build your business. And that's our focus with the mentoring and coaching part.
So I have so many questions in here in the midst of all of this. You talked about one point where I think you addressed the fact that you can be a business owner and not be an expert at every capacity in the business. Mm-hmm. So I think you used marketing for example. I'm with you on marketing. I really hate it. But it is so necessary depending on what type of service or what type of business that you have to tune into that. But dealing with your program, we can have someone or a coach that deals with the marketing aspect or show us how to, use the marketing aspect or what tools that we need, or either refer us to someone that can provide that particular service.
Absolutely. The marketing folks focus on helping give you a strategy. We have one marketing mentor who focuses on the strategy for just marketing, period, how to promote your business, and then also social media. Then we have a second marketing person who focuses on branding and promotion. So she's a designer. She can design logos for you, all of that, and helping you understand how to talk your business. It's very important that we remember as entrepreneurs that how we may talk every day with our people in the streets and family, what have you, that's a different kind of conversation that you have when you're sitting in a room with somebody who can give you money. When you're sitting in a room with somebody who you want to bring on board to support your business, whether it's with their volunteer time, whether it's with bartering, any of that. There's a different kind of way that you present that. So the marketing person also helps you with casting what you would say. Okay, so how would I say this to bring people to me in terms of marketing my business? So we do those kinds of things, and then also giving you a strategy for how you market. As well is very important. So the marketing folks do a couple of different things when you get mentored with them. And you're always going to have homework. All the mentors give you homework. All of them. Okay? Because an entrepreneur always has homework. You never stop going to school. I know we're not in school. Yeah. But you never stop going to school. If you're going to build the business to the point where it self-sustains, like a TD Jakes, like a Tyler Perry, there's a kinetic motion around always finding out where the next opportunity is, always finding out, well, wait a minute, my strength is not bookkeeping. My strength is not marketing. But I promise you, as the business owner, you better understand it.
Absolutely.
You better understand it. And so when you're talking about building a business, understanding what you may be weak in is your homework. That's your homework. So that, no, I'm not going to do it. But when my bookkeeper brings me a financial statement, I'm going to be able to read that thing and I'm going to know what I made, what I didn't make, so that I can then go back to God and be like, well, Jesus, this says, let's say, for example, that we didn't make as much money as I was hoping we could make this year. How do I retool it? How do I fix it? Well, guess what? The Lord is expecting you to know that before you pray. So that when you ask, you don't ask amiss. seeking it upon your own lust. So see, all of that stuff can be applied. All of the stuff we read in the Bible that we think is just personal, no, it can be applied to business. You do count the cost. You do have to count the cost. Well, if I can't read the financial statement, how do I count the cost? So an entrepreneur always has homework to make sure you shore up the gates on every aspect of your business, so you know and you understand how marketing fits in, how the bookkeeping fits in. So you know what you're selling, you know that. Now let's know everything else so that you're a well-rounded entrepreneur, so that when an opportunity comes that God wants you to have, you don't miss it.
It sounds like a wraparound program.
Doesn't it?
Wraparound program where I can come and everything that I need, your services kind of wrap around my business. And as I grow, the services continue to wrap around the business. We talked about also that you have some individuals that finished the program successfully like 5 years ago, but they come back. And I wanted to stop there because the great thing about it is that the goal is to always grow the business. The goal is never to just stay at one level.
Absolutely.
It's to grow and run itself, to be self-sufficient. I am so on this thing where I do not believe it is necessary to work so hard. I believe the key is to work smart. And in order to work smart, we need the proper tools around us. Yes. And we cannot be afraid. As a business owner, I can definitely attest to being afraid to jump out in certain areas because I know this end very well, but this end I'm not sure of, and I don't know where to go.
Absolutely.
To get the information or a place that I can trust, or they won't take my money.
Won't take my idea.
Because my idealist was bringing it in the bank right now.
Absolutely.
So being able to partner with a organization that is a faith-based organization. That is something that is very unique because as a believer, whoever I go to as far as a life coach, a business coach, I need you to understand the foundation in which I live on.
Absolutely.
So when you understand that I have biblical principles, I live by biblical principles, then I can come to you and say, hey, we have that in common. We both have the same biblical principles. We both believe in the same God, and then we build upon that. That is like a gift wrapped beautifully.
Amen.
Just wrapped absolutely beautifully. And I say that because, like you said, these opportunities that we have right now as far as the PPP, all these different opportunities, if we take advantage of these properly, life could be changed for our next generation.
Absolutely.
Life could change for our children and our grandchildren if we could capitalize right now. And you hear stories years later, you telling your grandkids like, yeah, when it was the pandemic, I did A, B, and C, and I was with Grassroots, and they taught me how to do this. And now you're able to sit in these great, wealthy places because the foundation was laid.
Absolutely.
And that you guys are able to provide that opportunity for us. It's just amazing. And like I said, it sounds like a wraparound program. It sounds like everything that an entrepreneur would need. What do they call it? A one-stop shop.
One-stop shop.
So let's say if an individual is not here in Cleveland, Ohio, you mentioned California.
Yeah.
So there's other entities in different states that we could contact your program?
One of the things about being online, especially with the training, is that you can service people wherever and not actually live where they are. So we have a partner in our entrepreneurship business called NDC, and they are a national development corporation. And so because of that, they actually also send us people from Missouri, from Atlanta, from different places to say, hey, they need some help because they're looking for the third phase of what we provide, which is the funding. And they come to them to get it, but they're not quite ready. So anybody who's living anywhere can take advantage of this program now, just because it starts online. Everything else is Zoom, phone call. Some people come to the office because they want to. Most people don't because they live far away. So it works either way.
So where's your office located?
Our office is located here in Cleveland, Ohio. It is right behind the Agora Theater. So we're close to downtown, but not downtown. So don't worry about it. I can't park. Absolutely.
Wow, that's amazing. Have you guys seen an increase in entrepreneurs or increase in individuals needing your service within the last year?
We absolutely did. I was very, very surprised because definitely for myself, because it was difficult. It's one of those difficult things to get funding to support our entrepreneurship program. I promise. I really did, y'all. I thought that, okay, God is done with this. We've done everything he wants us to do with it. And so because of that, we're done. Mm-hmm. And put it down. I was like, okay, yeah, we're done. That's cool. And then in 2019, like around October, we started getting calls from folks about entrepreneurship. And I said, okay, Lord, we hadn't been getting funding, so we hadn't been having a whole lot of people come through. So I thought we were done with this. And, this is one of those where you can hear God laughing without hearing God laugh at you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we started doing the classes again in person in October of 2019, and then COVID hit. Mm-hmm. So then it was like, we need to put this online. And it wasn't a scramble. We had already done our research, so we knew who to contact and how to get that done. And so then by the time March came, we were already online. Shockingly enough, I really honestly did not expect this at all. By the time we got done with 2020, we had a growth of 300% in the entrepreneurship program. Wow. And I was like, well, what? Wait a minute. And then here's me. I'm silly. Jesus, I thought we was done. And so what it became was, when we're talking about opportunity, it became, well, if people can't go to work physically and they do still need to have an income, what you think they're going to do, daughter? And I was like, oh, okay. And so we grew by 300%, which really comes out to about 100 people just in that 1 year.
Wow.
And then in this year, we're probably going to grow. We're growing a little bit more slowly, but we're growing more because people can access it from any state. So, yeah.
Wow, 300%. Those are numbers that an entrepreneur wants to hear. Those type of numbers are numbers you really want to hear. Like I said, I'm really excited about the program. What do you see you guys? Where do you see you guys next year? We're going into 2020.
I'm hoping that next year we'll have more entrepreneurs that matriculate through the first two phases. Mm-hmm. So that's the training and the mentoring coaching, and actually get to the point where they are able to get the money. So the third phase of what we do, which is why is fundingopportunities.com, is we actually provide an incentive program, which is pretty much a grant for individuals to help build their capacity for their for-profit business, to actually have certain things in place. So let's say, for example, if you have been in business for a little while or you're starting, but you never got that bookkeeper, and now you have a whole year's worth of finances, never filed the taxes, didn't have a bookkeeper. You telling people how much you make, but you don't have it on paper. I'm not sure if I'm making enough money for that. I'm trying to figure out how to get this together. So now the incentive program is something that you can ask for help with. I need a bookkeeper to help me get this money, this financial stuff on paper. I need somebody to at least start to pay for it for me, and then give me a chance to get the money together, and then I can continue it myself. So.
Such a reasonable request.
Absolutely. And it's just that. It's an incentive. It's designed to help you in an area where you're short, pay for you to get that started. But now you as the entrepreneur got to keep that thing going. You can't come back. You're an entrepreneur. You do understand that you're in business, especially for a for-profit. The reason why, because I think a lot of people don't realize this, the reason why there are not a lot of grants out there for for-profit entrepreneurs is because the nature of your business is to make money.
Yes.
So if that's the nature of your business, why am I giving you $50,000 to grow your for-profit business? It does not compute to investors. It doesn't compute to banks. That doesn't compute to people who can give you a loan. So that's why you don't see a lot of grants for for-profit entrepreneurs. So our focus was this: for people, you still got people who are trying to get started and don't quite have them ducats.
Yes.
So that's the purpose for the incentive program that we provide. We won't give you this money to build your capacity in this area where you're weak. but we know you need it in order to build your business. And then once that's done, you have to take the ball and keep going. Don't come back here and ask us for some more money for a bookkeeper. How did you use what we gave you? Yeah. It is the parable of the talents. One was given 1, one was given 2, one was given 5. The Lord came back and said, now what did you do with what I gave you? Okay. So if you perform with it, he'll give you some more. Absolutely. If you don't, well, I'm going to take the one I gave you and give it to the one who performed. Mm-hmm. That is the parable. There's a whole lot of Jesus principle in this worldly business, y'all. Absolutely. So it's very important as Christians that if we get the principle down from the word and just apply it to our business, we're going to see the doors for the world open up for us, because Jesus now can open that window and pour you out that blessing that you have not room to receive. But we've got to do it. And then the other phase of what we have is, because of our national partner, you have access to different types of loan programs. What I love about NDC is that they're putting together loan programs specific for small businesses. So that's those of us who make, to define it, those of us who have a revenue of less than $250,000. Because, you know, the SBA defines small business as any business who makes up to $250,000. So really, y'all, for us, we're looking at them people that barely made $30,000 their first year, mm-hmm. and they need a loan to help them grow. So it's that small, you know. Oh shoot, I only made about $900. Okay, well, we're gonna give you a capacity first to build your capacity to handle more. Then you can look at this potential loan to give you more. Okay. And so we have access to those loans as well through our national partner. And everything that we do, from the training to the mentoring and coaching, is designed to get you prepared, be able to submit that application for one of these loans, for one of these grants. Through your own due diligence, you may have a potential investor in your back pocket. Well, they're going to need a proposal, y'all. They're not going to just give you that money just because you talked a good game. So that's the whole purpose. The mentor, we have somebody who mentors on proposals, who helps you design business plans, so that when you get to this funding opportunity, you are more guaranteed to get a yes. And that is our focus. And there are no guarantees in life now. But the word is preparation. I mean, how can God give it to you if you're not prepared to receive it? You have to put it in. You have to give him something to work with. It doesn't make any sense for the prophet to prophesy over your life and then you don't do the work that's required for God to bless you, and then you want to say the prophet didn't know what they're talking about. No. No, it's not that. It's not that. What did you do with what God gave you?
And I love that parable. I just did a Facebook Live on that. But it speaks so much. You talked about the individual with the talent. Mm-hmm. It speaks so much of what you believe and how much you believe in what you have.
Absolutely.
How much you believe in what you have is not so much how much of it you have, mm-hmm. but what can you do mm-hmm. with what it is that you have been given. Another thing you talked about is the funding aspect. Okay, I have never heard the opportunity as far as grants mm-hmm. concerning a for-profit business mm-hmm. broken down that way. Uh-huh. That makes absolute sense.
Oh, good.
It makes, because you're right. Mm-hmm. A for-profit should be generating mm-hmm. Additional income. It should be growing.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, if your business is not making money, it is a hobby. It is not a business.
That's it. Hobby. That's it.
But what I love also is that it sounds as though your program literally walks you through step by step, because everyone says, okay, these loan opportunities are there. The interest rate is just amazing, but there is a journey to get to that spot. That is not something that is just handed to you. Absolutely. I also believe that after you've done the due diligence, after you've done the work, that the respect level for what you are about to be given goes to a whole nother level. I laugh at my kids all day long, because I tell my kids, all this work we had to do to get this house, we gonna take good care of it, because the work had to be put in. There was some time, there was some sweat, there was some things that had to be done in order to reach this. So when you get to that point where now you sit at the table, that God has prepared for you, but you sit at that table and you come confidently because you have done your due diligence. Absolutely. And now you can take advantage of these the rates that are absolutely ridiculous, and you can grow your business and sustain. You talked about something a little bit earlier, as well as being able to project why do I need this money? What do I need these funds for? You can't just go to the bank and say, hey, I need $35,000. Well, what do you need it for? How are you going to use it? How is these funds going to actually grow your business and not just your pockets just for 6 months?
Absolutely. And that's a question that every loan officer wants you to be able to answer, because for them, it's about giving you working capital. Okay, so again, what are you working with? What is going to be the expected end? See, there go the Bible again, y'all. I'm telling y'all, Jesus and put it all in the Word
All together.
So if you read your Word and study your Word, that principle applies in the world, whether the world knows it or not. Absolutely. And so you have to have the focus is on an expected end to that money, and the people who give you the money, their expected end is you're going to grow that business. And you're going to grow your profits. And they do realize once you get to that point where you have that understanding, then you can start to ask for the things that you know that you need. So wanting to speak to a couple of pitfalls that we sometimes fall into as entrepreneurs. Once you start growing and you see that you grew with a little, then when you get to the point, one of the places that you get stuck is, well, I need more, but I don't want to ask for more. Or I need more and I want to ask for more, but my ask is too big. If you remember, like you said, Pastor, that you're on a journey.
Yes.
And you're going to ask for what is needed for the journey. You know, just like the brides and the bridegroom, 10 of them kept their lamps with oil and the other 10 didn't, because they want to be prepared for the journey. So when the bridegroom came, those 10 who were not ready did not have the extra oil. Those 10 who were ready did have that extra oil. So look at the oil. If I am a business, for example, that is operating with 2 staff, and I want to get this contract, and I know that I need 2 more staff to do it. Once you've done your due diligence, like you say, the people don't have no problem with you asking for the amount of money you need for the 2 staff. Don't be scared.
Because it goes to the growth of the business. It goes to the growth
of the business. And they know what is required. You can't go to someone saying that I'm about to engage in getting $100,000 contract and say that I only need $50,000 to run it, to operate it. They're going to look at you like, you didn't know what you was doing.
You are ready.
Okay. So I don't want to give you any money because you don't know what you're doing, because you don't even know what to ask for. You know what I'm saying? And so that's...
So you mean to tell me your ask can be so out of the ballpark that they're already looking at you a certain type of way. You're not ready for it.
You're not ready.
This was the first thing a person would think.
That would be the first thing they think.
So, okay, so I know I've asked you before, and I'm going to ask you to throw out this email and this phone number again, because I believe that we have individuals that are going to just call immediately because of these services that you have. So what's that number again? How do we get in contact with you?
Awesome. Okay, so you can call the office at 216-777-2136. You can also reach us by email, and the email address you want is programs. So it's literally the word programs, PROGRAMS, at Collab Station, COLLAB station.org. So you can send an email as well. If you want to drop by, you're welcome to drop by between the hours of 10 and 4. The office address is 4614 Prospect Avenue, Suite 322. And that's in Cleveland, Ohio. So you can reach us through any of those means: email, phone call, or stopping by. We'd be happy to help you. And don't forget the website. If you're one of those folks who is working your 9 to 5, which is really 9 to 8, and you want to start your hustle, but you cannot do it in regular hours, visit us online, www.fundingopportunities.org. Or, to make it simple for you, I give you the agency web address, because you can also register that way as well. It's right on the front page, www.collabstation.org. right on the front page, first splash, is register for the Grassroots Business Guru program. You can register right there. Absolutely.
All right. We are so glad to have had you on. I think it is just such an amazing way to end out the year 2021 with all of this information. Now, it is still our responsibility to go and tap into the information that is given. So it's your responsibility to tap in. We want to thank you guys for watching Christian Networking Entrepreneurs on KAZ Radio. We want to give them a shout out also. Next month on January the 6th, we're going to have Antonio Burks with the Spirit of Excellence. He is going to be our guest on next month. We will see you next month. But also remember, if you want to be on the show, and this is an opportunity for any young up-and-coming business owner, community leader, if you have some information that you think is vital to the community and that is something that will benefit us, you can be on our show, CNN, and the phone number is 216-916-9270, option number 4, and I'm going to give you the email address as well. It's CHMET EMT as in Tom at gmail.com. Again, we want to thank you so much for coming on. Now, when we go online, we won't get you per se, but we'll get the spirit behind everything that you do. We want to thank you for all your information. And we also want to thank you for hanging in there for 20 years.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for hanging in. Hopefully, we will see you on next year. Remember, if you do not network, you do not eat. We'll see you next month.